And we are back for another episode of JoelCupcake Unedited with me, your boy, JoelCupcake. And I'm unedited, and my guests are unedited, and there's so much uneditedness. I really should learn to go back and edit stuff, but that would defeat the purpose of the fucking show. So we're here. Hey, I took last week off. I am really sorry. There were some heat waves. California's been on fire. I'm losing my mind. I also upgraded my setup and got this lovely, Blue Yeti microphone. You guys have already seen my new headset from SteelSeries, but spruced it up a little bit. Got a ring light, so I'm not just blue faced all the time. You know what I mean? It has been tight. What's up, everybody? I took last week off, like I just said. I'm really sorry. Thanks for sticking with the show. I do this for fun. I know a lot of you enjoy it, but it's to help me, and last week I just didn't have the time or the mental fortitude to get it done. But we are back this week, and I have a great guest, one that is very, very awesome to have. He's a good dude. He's been friends of mine for many, many, many moons, by the length of time as the crow flies, or whatever the fuck the saying goes. You know what I mean? We're not doing a music guest today. Very interesting. I know I mixed it up. But of course, we're going to talk about music. I mean, what's the point? Why wouldn't we? Anyways, here's my friend, Brandon Hunt.
Hey, what's up, dude? How are you?
Dude? I am great, brother. I'm great.
Good.
I'm eating my little ginseng guarana fizz energy drink thing that's supposed to be super healthy and won't make my heart want to fucking explode.
Oh, wow. I am off screen drinking just a soda that will make my heart explode. So if I die on screen, I apologize, but that would be sick.
Can I have your stuff?
Oh yeah, dude. First to claim. That's all you, baby.
Dude. All right, dude. And the best part is, if I don't ever release this recording, nobody else can beat me to it, dude.
It's true.
Yeah.
The first, it's watermarked, baby.
Ooh, there it is. There it is. All right, well, everybody, Brandon, I didn't say it earlier. I forgot to properly introduce him. He is the branded social producer at the one
IGN.
The old man. Oh, shit. He cut me off. IGN.com. IGN.com.
I thought that was a cue.
Sorry, dude.
Tell me you can't do that to me.
My guests, usually I have to lead them really hard for cues, and you were just on it, bro. You know what I mean?
Dude, used to.
You were just fucking on it. Hold on 1 second. I do not want to be giving this person a view on Twitch. So let me shut my other. Let me click my other little lappy top here.
Cancel.
My apologies.
Wow.
Anyways, Brandon is the branded social producer at IGN.com, the legendary IGN.com. Now, whenever a new Call of Duty video drops, right, there's always some sort of wild and vivacious and just hyped up video of cats flying out of airplanes with machine guns. Brandon does that. That is Brandon. That way. Sorry. I always do that wrong on this fucking show. This way. This guy over here.
To an extent, I have done that, but I can explain my job. But yeah, I used to. I'll run everyone through my history.
Well, wait, hold on. What do you do at IGN? Let's explain that, because branded social producer to people outside of. I mean, shit. I'm in the music industry and I barely know what you do. So. And people definitely probably don't understand all the layers and the veils, and the amount of onion peeling you have to do in the video game industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and every company's different. Everyone has different names for a bunch of shit, so it's confusing. But my role on the branded, I'm kind of on two teams. I'm on the social team first and foremost, and then our branded team unofficially, but I'm part of that branded team. And what the branded team does is, the way IGN makes money is we need to do branded content and use our skills and our catalog of content that we do. Such as the things that you see for Call of Duty and for.
Wait, it's not. You don't make money off clickbait like everybody else?
Hey, if you click it, it's your own fault, baby. Yeah, we're an
Touche,
official
my friend.
clickbait company.
Brandon's like, I'm that guy that baits you. Every time you click on something you don't want to open, it was me.
It was me, dude. Every single thing is clickbait. Not to go on a tangent, but everyone has to do that now to get you to fucking open up a link. And if it's honestly the best clickbait is the shit that's like logistically real. Like, wow, here's the new Call of Duty level. Like, is that clickbait? I mean, technically yes, because you clicked it. Because we baited you into clicking it because it's legit the new Call of Duty level. Sometimes companies will get shitty with it. Like, they'll be like, top 10 reasons why Call of Duty is the worst game. And they send you on like a wild goose chase of like 10 like slides or some shit like that. And that's
what is the one website? It's like, I always get these things on my feed, and then I click on them, and then it's like a directory where it's like really bad thumbnails, and then it's like 20 articles. It's like Zorg.com or something like that.
Some bullshit.
I'm like, I always end up reading the articles, and I get lost, and then I go back to that directory where it's like the article I wanted, and there's 20 others, and then like next thing I know, I've been sitting on the toilet for an hour, and I've read all of them.
Dude, that's your own fault. That's exactly what they want you to do.
I'm a fucking sucker, dude.
Anyways, we absolutely try not to be clickbaity as shit. We try, like, usually we.
I know. That's why I made that. That's why I made that comment to you, because I don't think you guys are super clickbaity, and not really at all. Like, you know, I actually get. You know, you're one of the few pages on Facebook where I'm like, follow. You know, like I want to see. I want every notification on for IGN.
Right. Like, we don't have to, because we got the good content that people want to see. So we just structure our titles in a way where people are like, oh yeah, okay, cool. That seems very.
Now, what is your role with that good content, brother? You were okay. I cut you off. I'm so sorry.
I know we go on a tangent here. That's what we do. So my role as a branded social producer is essentially to serve our social audience and help serve our social audience with branded content that you kind of see on it's like Instagram stories or Twitter or Facebook. A lot of things you'll see that are like sponsored by Xbox or brought to you by The Boys is the thing that come through, and they produce a lot of things. And essentially my role, and I have a partner in crime named Emily, and her, she and I, we essentially try and protect our feeds from, companies that come in and want to be like, we have a 30-minute video that we want to put on Twitter, and we'll be like, you literally can't put that on Twitter because the time limit is 10 minutes, shit like that, where we kind of have to say, hey, we understand the platforms better than y'all do, so here's how you can turn your content that you want to work with us on into like awesome stuff, so that people actually want to watch it. So like a lot of it is cool shit that we get to do. Like I'm trying to think of like, I can't. There's a lot of stuff I can't tell you about. Like, for
that's why I'm like kind of letting you talk, because I don't want to be like, what about this, Mr. Hunt?
There's some cool shit coming up that I'm really excited about, actually, that you'll see very soon. But
I hate when you do that. I hate when you do that. You're like, I'm going to give you a little bit, and then nope.
Just stay tuned. Keep it locked.
You're like when the ice cream man's truck drives slow by, and you run outside, and he's like, and the sign says sold out on the truck, but he's just driving through the neighborhood to be an asshole. That's you, Brandon. That's you.
Me playing the song. But yeah, dude, I essentially I help produce. I'll lead some teams into creating content for those specific campaigns and things, just make sure that a lot of those things, when they pop off, aren't egregious in their kind of, at the end of the day, they all sort of want to be ads, and we kind of say, hey, dude, this is not a commercial. We're not a commercial company, so let's make it work like actual content that people want to see. We try and do our best to make that happen. And we get to do a lot of cool stuff. Like, you'll see, like, a good example is like, if you're watching any of our E3 or Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show or PAX content, like before pre-COVID when we were there, and you'd see a lot of cool like show floor guided tours and things. Like a lot of that stuff, we have to sell and make it branded so that we can pay our people and pay our producers and freelance producers and stuff to make it happen. So a lot of that stuff is like brought to you by Gillette or brought to you by 5 Hour Energy is like a big company that we work with a lot. And so, and those guys are pretty supportive of a lot of stuff that we do, Alienware, that type of thing. And so they just help us produce a lot of cool shows and cool content that otherwise you might not be able to see. Like there's a show called Next Gen Console Watch right now that was literally our, the last couple of months, us kind of gearing up for, this time right now where all the consoles are dropping. And a lot of that, needed to be sponsored. And so that is the stuff that I deal with, where I turn that content into social friendly stuff so that things can fit on Twitter, things can fit on Instagram stories, Facebook, and it's a lot of like knowing the ins and outs of the platforms. Like Facebook is pretty sucky with links that literally aren't any Facebook links. Like, here's a tip for everybody and for you and for the show. If you want to have something pop off on your Facebook page, literally do not put a URL that links out to anywhere else on it.
No, yeah, you talk about it and you put the URL in your comments.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
You put the URL in your comments so that because Facebook's algorithm will punish you because you're not
promoting Facebook.
You're not promoting Facebook. Yeah. I mean, these are a lot of things that companies will do. Social companies will do. They just don't tell you, but they're like, at the end of the day, they're a business and they want to like promote their feed and their algorithm, and so that's what they got to do. Facebook's a little bit more egregious in it, but Twitter is absolutely not. Twitter is great. So
yeah, for those of you that are going to be listening to this at a podcast, that noise is me pouring water in a glass. It's not marijuana. Just so. Everyone's on the same page.
But yeah, that's the gist of what I do for IGN right now. But yeah, previously I was just kind of working on the normal social feeds as like a producer for the feeds, and then I moved on to branded content. And occasionally I'll still do like shit posty stuff. That's sort of what I'm known for. At IGN on the social side.
Okay.
But I've since passed the torch, and there's a lot of shit posty stuff now because we've just sort of allowed ourselves to be kings of shit posting. So
I mean, sometimes you just gotta own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For a long time, it was like, you would see a shit posty thing on IGN's Twitter and people be like, you'd tag me like, Brandon, what the hell? And now it's sort of like, I have to be like, hey, wasn't me this time. So
start playing that song. It wasn't me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty proud of that are, in some ways I'm sort of passing the torch of people, posting dumb shit. But yeah, man.
Well, so okay, so like let's tell the people. All right, so Brandon and I have been friends for very long, like 2006.
Dude, 2006, 7, something
right?
like that.
Yeah, something like that. Brandon used to be a fucking sick sick tech metal vocalist for a band called Turok, and then they were like one of the first bands that got hit with the good old lovely real life cease and desist. So they changed the name to Destroy the Colossus. They used to play shows for, well, it wasn't even Pennant Productions back then. It was Arsenic Productions back in the day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know Brandon through that. And then, like, we stayed in touch. Well, we kind of stayed in touch. I was, like, just touring and drinking a lot and didn't talk to a lot of people back at home. And then, like, in the last couple of years, we've definitely started, like, being friends again. Not that we stopped being friends, but like it's very easy to go from like friend to acquaintance but not in a negative way, you know.
Yeah,
just then I don't see him as much as I would like to. Like, it's just it is what it is, you know.
And we're sort of far apart. We live like about an hour away from each other, so it's always
more than that. It's
always been kind of hard for us to like actually get together. I think I've seen you in person
because I live basically in Carmel. You know what I mean? So
right. Yeah.
I mean, San Jose is an hour and 25 minutes from me.
Right.
So you live in the city now, right?
No, I'm actually in the East Bay still. I'm kind of like in the Walnut Creek, Standard Mountain area. So.
East Bay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're about like an hour and 45 minutes for me, probably roughly.
Yeah, totally.
So that's with no traffic.
That's with zero traffic, baby.
We all know how the Bay Area traffic goes.
Jesus. Yeah. Oh my God. I hope that never returns. But yeah, man, we did. I need to tell you, I was gonna surprise you, but since we're here, I was able to break back into my Photo Bucket account, and I found about like 70 flyers that I made for you, dude.
Oh, you need to send me those
intact. Dude. So I'm gonna put them on an Imgur page and
please, dude. Yeah, dude. Andrew will be so happy to hear that, dude. Yes. He's gonna be so jazzed, dude.
Yes, dude. I was so happy. I broke into like my personal and my our band Photo Bucket and found like our old MySpace designs that I did.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. I found parts of Hiroshima's old MySpace page layout that I made for them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Brandon, so if you guys didn't figure it out, Brandon used to do a lot of my like Photoshop art as well. Like, he did my flyers. If you ever see an old pinup or arsenic flyer, and at the bottom you see this URL that doesn't make any sense, it's myspace.com/wowcoolfrenchfriesdanzig. That was Brandon's MySpace URL.
Can I tell you how I got that URL? Did I ever tell you this story?
That was actually one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the show, just so literally I could ask you. Like, fuck IGN. Like, I just wanted to ask you about the fucking MySpace URL. You know what I mean?
I hope that you've been wondering for like 20 years and some shit how this happened.
Well, it was kind of one of those. It was more. I lived in the moment of the fact that it was like hilarious, so I didn't care.
Okay, so one night, this was pre-Turok. I was trying to get into a band, so I was hanging out with like a lot of band dudes in the area, and just sort of like putting myself out there. And so, I think we were practicing one night for like a band that just never took off. But like the thing was to go to Denny's up until like fucking 3 or 4 in the morning, as you do when you're like 20 years old. And we were doing
before we all discovered In-N-Out. That's what we hung out at Denny's.
Yeah, exactly. And we were doing
In-N-Out sounds so good right now. I never should have said that.
Dude, shit.
Fuck.
Can we go mobile and do this in the drive-through?
In the drive-through?
Yeah. Anyways, we probably could. I'll switch to mobile. Anyway, we're all sitting at a table, and it was like maybe like 10 of us deep, and we're just playing like dumb like word games. Like one of them, this game was like a game where it's like say a random word and complete a full sentence. You know, it was like that sort of like 4 a.m. deliriousness. And wow, cool French fries Danzig was the sentence that came out for our whole entire table, and I was the one that said Danzig. I remember that specifically, and that was like a sentence that sort of just like stuck with everybody, and that was about the same time that MySpace had dropped and everyone was building their pages. So I swooped that fucking dumb URL before like the last year of MySpace where I changed it to Brandon Hunt or something like that.
We don't talk about that. I'm not here to talk about that.
We're not talking about that, no. But yeah, there's the story, dude. There it is.
Dude, it's all right. You want to get really embarrassing, dude?
Yeah.
I am a sucker. I've listened to almost every type of music under the sun. Like I've had like a phase. In high school we all had phases. I was like the goth kid. I was the punk kid. I did the industrial thing. I did the fucking new metal thing. Well, I never stopped doing that, but that's not the point. But ska was my first true musical calling in life.
Wow.
My live journal. Yes, I just brought up live journal. My live journal URL was Lil, like Lil, Ska Boy with an I.
Ska Boy. Yes. Hey, that's not like the most egregious username of that time either. I'm surprised you weren't like little X, big X, little Ska Boy, big X, little X, some shit like that.
Yeah. No, actually, funny story. Some people claim that this is an exaggeration, but my fractured memory does not have it as an exaggeration. There's a period of time in the Santa Cruz metalcore scene where I was the only person who wasn't straight edge.
Wow, damn.
So I've never put X's in everything because A, I would have gotten beat up for it. B, I mean, I have friends to this day that are still straight edge. Taylor from Moria and like some of the other guys, Garrett and all the boys. A lot of them are still straight edge, and like it's a respect thing. Like I don't use X's everywhere. Sorry, there's a bug. I don't use X's everywhere because that's just like I understand that where it's not like straight edge people are the only people allowed to do that. It's like that's like kind of their thing,
Right.
I'm not gonna go fuck with it. But you are right. But my MySpace URL, ironically, was Pizza Man Joel. Because that was when. Remember, I just worked at Pizza My Heart and booked shows.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
Right. Dude, yeah, I remember.
And like everywhere I went in the town I lived, people were like, "Oh, it's the Pizza Man. Oh, it's the Pizza Guy." Like that was me everywhere I went. Like because I worked at the original Pizza My Heart in Capitola, and if you lived in Santa Cruz and you had summers, you at some point in time ended up in the Capitola Village. Down there right on the beach on the wharf, so everybody would always be like, oh, or like, kids would come in and be like, oh yeah, you sell my family our pizza. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm the pizza man. Like, what's up?
Wow, dude. Damn.
Yeah. So I wasn't even JoelCupcake until Twitter happened.
Oh shit. Wow. Damn. But you've been on Twitter for heck a long. You must have been on Twitter for heck a long.
I think so. Let me put a,
When did you start your profiles for? I think mine's like 2009 or something, but
does it say just like right on your profile?
Yeah, it should like right on your
joined June 2009.
Wow. Dude, I was February 2000.
I've been on Twitter for 11 years. I'm just gonna go jump out a fucking window, dude. That just reminds me how old I
am, dude. Dude, that's crazy. It's funny that that like Pizza Man was your like moniker. There's like just never a metal scene that is not like some way associated with pizza, like pizza shops and like ours was Lucky Pizza in Dublin.
I was literally gonna bring that up. Lucky's Pizza, baby, before the Red House.
I miss it. Dude,
I only went to Lucky's like a few times. Like I went once for one of your guys' shows. I went once when Moria played.
Yeah.
And there was I think I went with Arsonist, but I was like blackout drunk that day, so I don't remember.
Oh man, yeah. I think I remember that show.
It was probably I think it was them and I Shot the Sheriff, and it was like the night that I Shot the Sheriff crowd got like really rowdy.
Oh yeah. They like shut it down for like
Yes.
2 weeks. They're like, no shit for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that night. Yes, exactly. But oh man. Yeah. Well so we've gotten completely off subject, but hey, it's my show, so I don't give a fuck. Well, so you grew up in the East Bay, so how did you get into music and into a band? And then how from the band did you get a job at IGN? Like, just give it to me all. Like, just give me that timeline, baby.
I remember, like, I'll start from the very beginning. One day I was hanging out with some people in a parking lot. I was listening to not metal at the time. It was sort of like new metal and techno and shit like that. And I heard the double bass pedals of Poison the Well emanating from a dude's truck while we were all like trying to skateboard. And I was like, what is that? And so discovered metal, like death metal and hardcore music.
And then put you on the hot seat. What's your favorite place on the Well? Which record did you hear? What's your favorite place on the Well record?
Tear from the Red, the second one.
Tear from the Red, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think it was Botchla. pretty sure it was Botchla that I heard. Was that first song?
Is that your favorite record by them?
You know what? It was for a long time, but I think oh fuck, what's the next? You come before you. What's the next album?
Yeah, You Come Before You with Ghost Chant.
Yeah. Yes, holy shit, so fucking good.
So like that was always the album I enjoyed, and I never was like. But now when Poison the Well comes on, I always like skip to all the fucking You Come Before You songs. Like
I know, dude.
I have this. So okay, we're going way off course, Brandon. fuck your story for a second. So I have this whole thing with like Sean Mott and a few of the other guys that I do a lot of content creation with. They all think I'm crazy for this.
Yeah.
I stopped listening to Under Oath after They're Only Chasing Safety. Okay. And I didn't listen to bands like Bring Me the Horizon and a lot of the new stuff because, in my opinion, You Come Before You, it was the first, like, this is metalcore and we've progressed.
Right.
And all those, in my opinion, like when Under Oath came out with, I think it was Define the Great Line, like all those bands, in my professional and personal opinion, they just ripped off Poison the Well, and Poison the Well got shit on for what they did, and everybody else blew up.
Oh yeah, because Poison the Well like actually progressed as musicians. Now, granted, I don't think I've actually listened a lot to the albums post You Come Before You, but they're just like they're
incredible. They're incredible.
They're like oh fuck, what's the band's name that is the lead singer is like the he runs the artist he runs like the art company that does everyone's albums. Oh, fucking shit. He's got that tattoo next. Their famous band shirt is like the girl's face.
Atreyu?
No. They're like super. God damn it! Hold on, let me find them. Anyways, they're just to not let everyone suffer through my brain trying to figure out. It's the girl. It's like the black and white shirt that's just like the entire shirt is a girl's face. It's just sort of Converge. Fucking thank you. Jesus Christ.
How did you not remember that, Brandon?
Because my brain is farting right now.
You were in a tech metal band, brother. You
I know. My brain is farting because I'm live on air.
Between that band and Into the Moat, like your band never would have had any relevance, dude.
Oh, well, Converge isn't like they're not like tech. They're like post hardcore artistry. And
fair.
You know, but that's what Poison the Well did. They started painting. Like they started fucking like they were sketching and everyone's fucking sketching with hardcore shit, right? Doing the same pictures and Poison the Well was like, hi, we're like 30 in the scene and y'all are like 15. We've been doing this since like 92 or some shit.
The only band that came along where I was like, this is fresh and new. So I was like, I listened to Poison the Well. I said, fuck all these New Jack bands. I was already into The Bled, so The Bled gets a solid hard pass because they get away with whatever they want because they're The Bled. And in my opinion, they might be the most underappreciated metalcore band of all time. But that's not the point. That's a whole other conversation. I missed fucking Art Damage by Fear Before the March of Flames. Like that band and that CD specifically, like really ushered in like the art, like the heavy low era of music. You know,
dude,
what I
saw
mean?
that. I love bands like that are always sort of like associated with like a tour package, but that like the tour package is they like toured one time. I saw them with like Bear versus Shark and like a couple other bands that were just like close, but like not really like a typical tour package that you would see. Yeah. And like they introduced me to like so many fucking good bands. Like Bear vs. Shark, I fucking love.
Well, that was like I had like a weird trajectory when I got into music. I like bounced all over the place, but like hardcore was like last for me. So I got into like Poison
me
the
too.
Well. So I went from like I liked like Nerve Agents, like I liked the goth punk bands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of like AFI, Nerve Agents, TSOL, you know, stuff like that. And then I kind of swerved into I discovered Poison the Well. But right when I first heard Poison the Well, I heard like Ed Gein, Through the Eyes of the Dead, like the first As They Dying EP, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then so I was like all about that, and then I didn't even know about like, and then I found the Red Chord, and I was like obsessed with the Red Chord.
Oh, yeah.
And then because of like Fear Before and bands like that getting bigger, I discovered like probably the most underappreciated band of all time, the number 12 Looks Like You.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like the OG lineup, like Nuclear Sad Nuclear, that record, like put on your ruby red glasses or ruby rose glasses.
Oh my God,
I don't remember.
The one song, of course I'm blanking on the song that Jaywalking Backwards. I still have like on a playlist from the number 12 Looks Like You.
Which album was that off of?
That was off of Mongrel.
Oh,
2005.
Okay. I didn't listen to that record as much. I won't lie to you.
Dude, I think I was a little bit of a different trajectory. I've just never been like a real big like pure punk fan. Because I've always just really gravitated towards like the heavier, growlier stuff. And never like the looseness of punk until later. And it's always like a punk fusion thing. But I was like, I definitely like the first As I Lay Dying. I want to say like that last Beloved album.
Ooh.
Was the problem. Oh, dude, we're gonna go there, and holy shit, you know they're coming back, right?
Can we not talk about Furnace Fest getting canceled? Can we not talk about it?
We can.
I had tickets to Furnace Fest and Psycho Las Vegas this year. And at Psycho Las Vegas, Poison the Well is playing all of opposite of December.
Fuck, dude. Just stream it. Just tell them to stream it. Shit.
Don't get me started.
But yeah, Beloved was probably like, it is like one of the essential albums for me that like went from like hard rock type of stuff into just straight like metal, like close to death metal, like close to hardcore, because I fucking love the shit out of that Beloved album. Yeah. And so from there, I started using the net to like find new bands and shit like that. And
the World Wide Web.
The old worldwide, the web cast wide across the world. But I found I think As I Lay Dying was the fucking album. I don't want to be like Gloaterson, but I was like there early for As I Lay Dying. I remember going to a show for As I Lay Dying at the Pound where there was like literally 8-10 people. So I got to meet I went to a couple of those shows where it was like that because I was obsessed with them, and got to meet like Nick Hippa, who's fucking awesome, dude. He's a guitarist, and so he would like recognize me at like all their other shows and be like, "Oh, you remember me? Oh my god!" So he's super cool.
I love that.
But from there, basically from there, As I Lay Dying, it was like everything that Tooth and Nail Records put out, Trust Kill put out,
Trust Kill, yeah.
Like Nora, those bands.
That. I was always more of a Ferret Records person.
Yeah, Ferret, definitely Ferret for sure. Like all those labels, dude.
Yeah.
And I was mostly dedicated to and could really handle mentally just the hardcore, not really deathcore yet, but metalcore stuff. Yeah. And then, as I got a little bit older and experienced life a little bit more and got a little bit angrier, I needed the fucking grimiest shit later in life. So like even after Turok and Destroy the Colossus was over, like I couldn't really handle a lot of like grindcore and like black metal, but fuck
Yeah.
shit. Like right now it's like there's a band, I don't even know if you've heard of this band, but have you heard of Robinson?
Yes, I know the name.
Fuck. They did that album, The Great Collapse. They only had like one EP. They were from like the Midwest somewhere. I don't even think they got signed. Or maybe they got kind of like a small signing. But it was
They
like
were friends with
fucking most.
Go ahead, finish.
No, wait. Who are they friends with?
Well, I know that name because what was that like? Like robot. There was like Robot Firing Squad or something like that, and then there was like See You Next Tuesday. Like Robinson's from that whole region of the state, and I was really good friends with the. I can't call them their acronym. I was really good friends with the See You Next Tuesday guys.
Oh, nice.
I can't call them by their. I can't call them what I want to call them because
yep.
I'll have some women very upset with me.
Oh yeah.
But
was that like Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza?
So Tony Danza was like south, and then like the See You Next Tuesday guys were like north.
Gotcha.
So it was like Danza and God, what's that other band that doesn't exist anymore? That was just like one of the OG. I cannot remember. It's gonna take me forever to remember.
Yeah, you have to like scroll through your iPod.
Yeah. But there was like Danza and another band from the south, and then there was like See You Next Tuesday, Robinson, and like that whole group from like the Midwest / like the edge of the Northeast. You know?
Yeah, totally, dude. Yes. Fucking Robinson like just introduced. It was like at first it was like I would play Robinson to like scare the shit out of my like milk toasty friends who were just like, I like Maroon 5 and that's it. You know, all right, you want this music?
My favorite people, dude.
Oh, my favorite people. Which is funny because like when I was playing in Destroy the Colossus, we were just so deep in that scene at about like 5 years in that like everything we listened to after practice was like Justin Timberlake and like just the furthest away shit from metal that you could, because we were just like so burnt out on like a lot of it.
Yeah, dude. Like so, like I'm still putting on new metal these days. Like new metal releases. Sorry, not new metal like the genre. Like new metal bands.
Right.
New metal CDs. New metal like NEW, and but like even like dude, like my jams lately have been like Post Malone, Rise Against.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking, you know what I've been jamming the shit out of lately, dude? Backstreet Boys, dude. Backstreet's back, all right, dude. That's all I have to say about that, dude.
Dude, you want to know my two like absolute, like I just rotate back and forth, and one you're gonna love, but the first one I've been utterly obsessed with that band Health. They're on the Grand Theft Auto soundtrack, Grand Theft Auto 5. They did the soundtrack to Max Payne 3.
Okay.
And like the two albums after that are fucking incredible.
Interesting. Okay.
And they're also big IGN fans, so we've been trying to get them to come hang out at the building studio a couple times. Yeah. So like we've a buddy of mine and I have been. We chat with them on their Instagram. It's really funny. But the other band that I have just like somehow found like another love for is Head PE. Do you remember Head PE?
No, yeah, of course I know who that band is.
Yeah. Okay.
They fuck or what, dude? Like you just with
that
it?
album, that like popular album that they had when like they got like super big, just fucking rips. Still, dude, it just rips. It's good.
Are you gonna tell me you listen to ICP now? Is that the next thing out of your mouth?
No. Sir.
Why are you judging, dude? You're not down with the clowns until you're dead in the ground?
I'm not down with the clowns, man. I'm not.
Dude, listen.
Unless
Brandon, one of the smartest things I ever learned in the last 20 years of living is never leave home without your motherfucking hatchet. All right? Like
Oh, all right. I might have to get down with the clowns. Hey,
Dude.
are the clowns? Where do the clowns land on the political spectrum these days? Are they Trumpers?
Did you not see that thing? Did I not send it to you?
No,
Dude, it was
no.
like it was basically like they posted a picture of a clown face holding the burning Confederate flag, and they were
Oof.
like, all right, my fellow ninjas, get your fat asses out with your shotguns and chase down your local racist or something like that. And
Wow.
then the next thing they posted after that was, you remember all the dude from Dance Floor Murder, not Dance Floor Murder, that's an old San Jose hardcore band. Blood on the Dance Floor is a pedophile, right?
Right.
So a new picture of him leaked, and he like got rid of like the zigzag beard and the scene hair. He's like tries to look more like a Papa Roach reject nowadays. You know what I mean? And they were like, "Yo, like just a reminder, this is so and so from this band. If you see him, just fucking kill him on sight because he's a fucking pedophile." And it was like back to back, and I reposted it, and I was like, ICP basically just won 2020. Like, you can think Juggalos are ridiculous as much as you want, but like they were like, we don't fucking care. Like, burn the Confederate flag, like kill racists, murder pedophiles. And I was like, well, at least someone's not beating around the bush this year. Like,
dude, okay, am absolutely a turned individual, and I'm now going to go down an ICP rabbit hole and and put my foot in my mouth.
Listen,
I love that. I love that, absolutely. I support them wholeheartedly now.
Trunk full of Faygo, car full of fat chicks. That's all I need to tell you, Brandon.
Oh man, I had that double disc album that was like from like 98 maybe or something like that, when they were wrestling in the WWE, when they were coming through for a couple of WWE or WWF, excuse me.
Yeah.
For like Monday Night Raw spots and shit, when it was like the 96 like 2000 era was like the hypest era.
Yeah, and then it was like all of a sudden ICP's here for no fucking reason.
You're like how? Yeah, because they were in the ECW or some shit, and then they just then they pop through. God,
dude, and now they still do Juggalo Championship Wrestling. They still have their own wrestling league.
Wow, that's insane. All right,
yeah, it is insane.
Big ups to ICP.
Dude, I mean, like, honestly, like, all jokes and nonsense aside, like, they're millionaires. Like,
wow,
they're very intelligent. Like, their branding, like the culture that they've created. Dude, not last year, but the year before, Gathering of the Juggalos was in a fucking water park. Like, not only did they convince a corporate-owned water park to let them host the gathering there, they had enough money to rent out a water park for 3 days. So the slides ran for 36 hours straight.
Holy shit.
So, like, you could, like, go watch Mudvayne, get sprayed with Faygo, and then fucking hit White Lightning, the ride. You know what I mean? Like,
holy shit, that sounds amazing. Oh, I miss Mudvayne, dude. Is Mudvayne still doing it?
No, they're not, because the singer's in Hell Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they've been, like, teasing a comeback, because I would love that, because, you know, Dig is, like, the heaviest song ever written. But, I don't know. But, damn, dude, we should talk about I tried to make it a point not to talk about ICP on here and politics, and I broke both those fucking rules today, dude. God damn it. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Let me put you on the spot with like a music question.
Okay.
If you had like, you come from like the death metal tech world and also metalcore. So like, if you had to name 2 albums right now that you would recommend people check out, like one tech-y death metal-y record and like one metalcore record, like OG. We're talking about OG stuff. Like what are the 2 CDs you would recommend? And if you're not ready, I can go first. I do have my answers prepared.
I have one of my answers prepared. Okay. I have my metalcore. I would say, even though I can't support them anymore because their lead singer is a psychopath. But the first As LA Dying album,
For a World's Collapse, baby.
dude, I'm obsessed with that album.
Dude,
Obsessed.
I still listen to it. Like Tim is, I don't think what Tim did was cool. I don't believe that whole like he paid his debt thing. Like I'm real on the fence with it. Like I've had the opportunity to go see both of the last 2 tours they did, and I didn't because I just was like, I don't know how it sits with me, you know?
Yeah, like I think like I don't know. I would have just I think them. But here's another tangent. But I think like as a band, like I know there's like history there, but like, dude, you gotta like take a stand. Like I think it was just weird that they were just like, oh, we'll get him back. He's making amends and shit. I was like, yeah, dude, of course. Like he doesn't have anything else to fucking do with his life. He like the last like 20 years has been him in a band, and he went crazy.
Yeah. Well, and they all said like what he did was wrong and it's against Jesus, and we'll never be in a band with him again. And then they went back into being in a band with him.
Yeah, except Nick Hippa left. He like just recently left because he's like, bye.
Yeah, I know he was like, this is wrong. I should not have ever done this. I'm out.
Yeah. But like at the same time, I'm like, dude, y'all could have just fucking grabbed a new singer like instantly. Like you could have just fucking solved that problem with a.
They should have just had Nick Arthur from Molotov Solution do it, and they would have been fine.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
for real. But yeah, that album, holy shit. That one changed my life because that was the one that was like, I want to be in a fucking band now after listening to this. Like
I respect that.
It was like the one that made me get off my ass and like actively like manifest it. Like it was the one that like said like I would start telling people I'm gonna be in a band. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. And then, MySpace hit and like I was hitting up like all sorts of bands, like waiting for bands to be like, hey, we need a singer, in the fucking bulletin boards and shit. And that's how I found the Turok boys was that.
God.
What's
your metalcore record?
My metalcore? Well, that's my metalcore record right there.
Oh, okay, fair.
But my tech one, fuck. I don't know if I have honestly, I don't have like one that's OG, but like one that's maybe like 5 years old is it's not 5 years old. Oh my god.
We're old, so I feel like when you say 5 years old, it's really like 10 years old.
You
just don't realize it.
The last Rivers of Nile album.
Oh, dude, where owls know my name.
Yes, fucking shit.
That was my album of the year that year when that CD came out.
Dude, nice, hell yeah.
That record, nothing has touched me like that record since Colors came out by BTBM.
Yep. Holy shit, dude, yeah, for real. Like
honestly, they should just do a tour that's BTBM playing Colors and Rivers playing that album, and that's it. Yeah. Fuck having an opener. Yeah. Like that's it. Just pass out like some fucking edibles or some fucking acid or something, and just let everybody fucking lose their mind, dude.
All right, I have a question I want to ask you, but only after you tell me your 2 albums. But
okay.
But remind me, it's in a post-COVID world question.
Okay, that's fair.
Tell me your 2 albums first, so we don't lose it.
My metalcore album. This I feel like will surprise a lot of people. Like, I listened to Poison in the Well. I got into all this stuff, and then I got into heavier stuff, and then I also got into some more metalcore stuff. But like the album that sold me, where I was like, "This is the type of music I want to fucking listen to." That from the metalcore spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly a tie, but I'm not going to play that game on my own show. Like I'm going to follow my own rules. So it's going to be The Funeral of God by Zayo.
Oh fuck!
Just because like you have the heavy, it's still a little grungy. It's not like super produced, but like he has mids and highs. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like fuck, dude. Like that album just gets me like fucking pumped, dude. Like,
dude, I don't know if this thing ever happens to you, but there was a ton of instances where I would discover a band and be like, holy shit, this band fucking rips. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, we're coming through. And I was like, oh fuck, let's fucking go. And Zaya was one of those bands where that album, everyone was singing the single off that, or the music video that
the Liberate, the one that's where it's in Latin.
No shit. It's it.
Where Blood and Fire bring rest. Oh, it might be the more like the album they did after Funeral of God was like kind of singy.
No, it definitely was. It was more grindy. I'm finding it. Hold on. God, I hate. This is like the last revelation.
All else failed. That one.
Nope.
Where Blood and Fire bring rest.
Let me look at this album. Let me look at this fucking album. Show me the album. Show me the album.
My phone won't even load the Zayo button right now.
Is it the? Oh God, I forget all the. Here, let me play it. This one. The Rising End.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is off the Funeral of God.
Yeah. Yes. This song fucking rips, and the end of that song I was like obsessed with. Mm-hmm. And like at the height of like my obsession, I got to see them live, like full on, like elbows on the lip of the stage live, and see the dude just like in pure like element. It was fucking awesome.
See, I saw Zayo when I wasn't super obsessed with them. That was the only time I've ever gotten to see them, and I'm so mad about it. But it was with Animosity at the Pound.
Oh shit, nice.
So it was like a sick show, and like I remember like everybody was like fucking Zayo. Like that was before I had really fallen in love with that band.
Yeah,
because I grew up with a lot of Christian metalcore kids, so like they all were like fucking Zayo. And like they were tight live, but I wish like now I've seen them in recent years. You know, like they've been putting out new music. We booked them at DNA Lounge a couple years ago. Like their band's incredible live. You know,
awesome.
But yeah, so that's my metalcore answer. And my a lot of people will say that they're not a death metal band, and I don't fucking care because to me they were where it got me on the train of tech metal.
Right.
And like more brutal death metal. The first the Dead record, man.
Oh fuck yeah, they are.
Dude, Malice, dude.
Yeah.
Even though yes, there's breakdowns on the record, but like 3 inches from a main artery, and like also that first like their current singer is not. I'm not knocking him at all, but I believe his name was Anthony or Andrew was the dude that was only on like the first EP, the demo EP, and that record. Like his fucking voice,
so good. Oh yeah, dude.
Like I that record.
I used to run a lot, and I need to start running again. But like that song would the song off that album that was like the fucking hit would like amp me the fuck up when I would exercise. That song is so tight. That album is so good.
Yeah, that song. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yep.
So good.
And then if I had to choose like a guilty, like a local band, like it's a tie between either Moria, No Light Ahead, obviously, or dude, Predator by the Taste of Blood is like one of the most underappreciated metalcore records, like period. Like every time I show people that band, they're like, how did this band never get huge? And it's like, well,
dude, I know.
Derek went into the Faceless and Chase was in Animosity, so like, you know what I mean?
Right. Hold on.
What's your? Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was going to remind you of your post-COVID question. That's all I was going to do.
Okay. In a post-COVID world, when maybe in like probably like two or 3 years, right? Like probably
with the way the world's going.
The way the world's going. By the way, real quick, do you remember a band called Textbook Tragedy?
I never listened to them, but yes, I know the name.
They're fucking sick, and that's my guilty pleasure band.
I feel like I've booked them.
They've definitely come through the area before.
But you know what? I've booked so many. I literally have friends that remind me like, dude, you've booked that band. I'm like, no, I haven't. And they're like, yeah. Like, especially my straight edge friends that have been coming to my shows like since they were kids. They're all like, yeah, dude, Joel, you've booked that band. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Joel, you've literally booked Fartcore before. You don't remember Fartcore, bro?
Dude, I started Crabcore, bro. What are you talking about, dude?
Okay, my question post-COVID, right? When shit's like ready to come back, right? In this scene, assuming you're still gonna want to book shows and do the thing again.
Well, assuming we still have venues, that's the bigger statement. But yes,
yeah, let's pretend that there will be venues, right? Which I think there will be. I feel like post like the second COVID dies, people are gonna want to be like, I want to go to a fucking show so bad, right?
Correct.
What do you want to see? What do you want to change in terms of like booking lineups and shit? In terms of like, the standard kind of the standard practices and like shit like that you'd want to change. Like, would you want to be like just 2 bands? Like, would you want to do that? Would you want to be like,
bro? Have you ever been to a pinup show? It's like fucking 8 bands every time.
I know, dude. It's like fucking festival.
I do want to do less bands, and I want to do more mixed genres. You were alive in the time frame where you could have like Hiroshima and Turok had no place playing a show together.
Totally.
But it worked all the time.
Right.
Like you would have like the ass beater band, like So Help Me God, play with like a weird, like the weird, like artsy, heavy Lolo. And then there'd be like a tech band and maybe like a pop punk band with breakdowns on there. And it was way less weird back then. It was way more normal. Like the different genres supported each other. It was just, we went to shows. It wasn't like, I only listen to hardcore, fuck you. Or like deathcore is the superior music. And if you don't like that, it's murder. I'm going to fucking slit your throat. Or like, I only listen to like Pantera, and if you don't, you're a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so tired of all that type of stuff, like, dude,
yeah.
And so like, I want to go back to like the mixed genre stuff. And also like, it's more beneficial. Like so many bands are against it, but like, if you have enough of a crossover with the other artists you're playing with, it's like so beneficial to everybody because you're meeting new people. Maybe you pull a few people from their scene to yours and vice versa. And you're just getting this fresh, raw exposure. Like there was a while where like every show was so packed because everybody knew each other, but every band got treated like every local band got treated like they were fucking huge because of like the unwavering support system of everybody. Everybody supported each other because the genre lines were a lot less blurry. I'm noticing something. I mean, it existed back in the day, but not as bad. It was more of a like in a respect way. But like I've noticed that seemingly nowadays there's like a lot of gatekeeping going on where like people tell you what is and isn't cool. People tell you if you aren't cool. And like it's like I want a band to just show up and be themselves. Like show up, because like I've said this on my podcast, other podcasts, like I've told so many people, like if you just show up and come talk to me and tell me you want to play a show, you're way more likely to get a show than by like people shit jamming your name down my throat or you blind messaging me on Facebook or whatever, Like, I mean, dude, you remember when you guys met me? Like, I talked to every fucking band, and everybody loved to play for me because I was fucking entertaining and nice. Yeah. I mean, on top of that, like the shows were always cracking back then, partially because I feel like I'm a pretty decent promoter, but also just the time we were living in. It was like, I chose the right time to be a promoter. When metalcore fucking exploded and overflowed. But
yeah, you like hooked it up though. Like you like hooked it up. It was like you were. I feel like you fucking knew like every single band in the fucking Bay Area. That like, if you were a band and like actively trying to get shows, like some way or another, people would run into you and be like, "Yeah, can you book us?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, dude, we'll find a good spot for you." Like that was it. Like, and like. I'm gonna praise you a little bit, but like the second that happened for us, we got like way more exposure, way more clout. You know, like
well, I'm like Hiroshima. We keep bringing them up. I love Travis and those boys. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like they were a band like coming from Santa Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
They're competing with Taste of Blood, Arsonist for All the Girls, Moria, At Risk. You have all these bands that are polished. They have their shit together, and like they're trying to come up, and it's like, who the fuck are these young kids? But the second, like I put them on that. I actually booked. It was Fear Before the March of Flames, Heavy Heavy Low Low, and a couple other bands. I put Hiroshima on that over other metalcore bands. Heavy Heavy Low Low wanted their friends to play. Like literally, I just told everybody to fucking eat one. I was like, just eat it. I don't want to fucking hear it. And I put Hiroshima on the show. And everybody was like, yo, who was that opening band? Like they're like goofball little scene kids, but they fucking rip. And I was like, that's always been my goal. Right, like with your band, like, I know you always bring this up, like when I put you guys on that Despised Icon show in Santa Cruz. A band from an hour and a half away has no business opening a show in Santa Cruz. But like you look at that lineup, also to be fair, I didn't know most of the death metal bands back then, and a lot of them, some of them still don't want to play for me because I'm the metalcore dude. But that's I mean, I don't care anymore. Everyone's gonna have their opinion, But like, I didn't know a lot of like the actual death metal bands, so I probably would have tried to get like Decrepit Birth or somebody like that to play. But it was the Montreal Assault tour with like, that was you guys, Plasma Rifle, Carnifex, Neuraxis, and Despised, right? Or it was
Yep, that was it. I had that poster up on my wall for like fucking ever, dude.
So I put you guys on that. I remember everybody being like, "Who the fuck is this band? Like, you're gonna put a show in Santa Cruz or like an 831 and not put an 831 band on?" And it's like, well, first off, Moria was on tour; they weren't home. Otherwise, they would have been on the fucking show because Moria and Despised Icon. Like, can you get a heavier show than that? No, you can't. Anyway, it's not the point. But it was like, dude, you guys had played shows for us at like Red House. You played shows for us at San Jose Skate. You'd even played like shitty Nickel City shows for us. Like you'd always promoted hard. Like you were doing art for me. Like you guys never fucking, a lot of local bands, like they get one little taste and then it's like they have these high expectations. And I was always like, listen, I gotta cycle through everybody, dude.
Right.
And also that was like one of my first shows where I was like, I knew the crowd that was gonna come to that show because back then there was a big divide still between deathcore and death metal. So the people that were gonna want to see Carnifex didn't want to see the rest of the bands besides maybe Despised.
Right.
Because the rest of the bands were like more technical death metal bands, other than Despised and Carnifex. Which, again, not that anybody from Carnifex is ever going to see this. I don't mean that in a shit-talking way. But, and you guys fit with Carnifex and the other bands, but it was also like, I knew that show was going to do well. Ironically, it did way better than well. It like far exceeded expectations. Nice. I don't know if you remember, we crammed like almost 700 people in the Vets Hall for that show.
Dude, I remember that.
And we were only supposed to do like 480 people.
Wow.
Or like 430 people, and we did like 680 or something like that. Like, yeah, it was like insane.
I remember we were at that point, that was like pretty late in our kind of run. And at that point, like a headlining show for us was like death because we would always play last and we were like, we don't want to fucking play last. We want people to like, we want to play two people. Because at Lucky Pizza, if you were a headliner, you were playing at like 11 o'clock and all the kids' parents would come pick them up and shit, or they had to go. Or people were just fucking tired and just ready to go because they'd been there for like 5 hours or some shit. We'd always fight with like a headliner band to be like, no, dude, we'll play before you. We don't want to fucking do this. And you were like, you guys are going to play first and you're going to play on the floor because like the back line was so booked. And we were like, that's fucking perfect, dude. Because like we were just amped. We were just aching for like chaotic energy. And like the only way we could get that was like on the fucking floor in a crowd, like in a house party, and not at like a staged show where people were just like hanging out at the back because we were playing, like either headlining or fucking like we were a brand new band. So like that was like the perfect setup. And I had known one of the lead singers of Despise, because they came through in a touring package years before that. And it was like a perfect night where like my parents were all gone on vacation, and they're like, we need a house to crash. And I was like, y'all can crash at my place. And they crashed for like 6 hours after the show and left at like 8 in the morning. It was like perfect before my parents came home.
That's so tight.
And so I kicked it with them, and I stayed in touch with the singers. And so when we rolled through, they're like, "Fuck yes, dude! I'm so excited to see you." And so he stood right in front. And so we were like, yes, oh my god, yes, because everyone's seeing that the singer was there from Despise Icons. They're like, oh fuck, he's checking out this band. So like the circumstances of that entire show, dude, were like so fucking perfect. And it was like, it remained like one of our most favorite shows we've ever fucking played.
Well, that was always my thing. Like, you guys worked hard, and I understand that like being hit up to headline all the time is not fun. I understand also getting a good opportunity like that was not tight, but I knew you guys were going to bring your 60-ish friends from the East Bay.
Right.
And at that point in time, you remember the scenes didn't travel. The reason I could book a show in Salinas, Santa Cruz, and San Jose, or like, you know, they could go play the East Bay and play San Jose and play Santa Cruz, is because all the scenes were so big, and only like 20% of the people actually traveled between shows. Right. And it was usually like the older dudes from Santa Cruz and Salinas that did, you know, because everybody in San Jose was so young because it was the youngest scene. And then the East Bay people didn't get along with a lot of everybody else.
Right.
And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I also kind of helped with that. Like, I kind of helped more of the bands play for more of the communities, and everybody became homies, you know?
Right. Totally. You were like the glue in the Band-Aid of like the whole fucking Bay Area.
No, not the whole, but don't say that. Not the whole Bay Area, but
true. It's true, Joel.
Whatever.
It's very true.
Whatever. But anyways, you know, you guys deserved that shot, and I was happy. You guys did your fucking job. You promoted well. You sold tickets from what I remember. Yeah. You know? And it was like tight. And on top of that, like, you did all those flyers for me for years, and I think I paid you like $60. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, dude, it was all for like, you know, just opportunities and just like kick it with you and hang out, and then eventually you'd throw us a bone, and that's like, hell yeah. I don't have any like show promoting skills yet, but I can like put in work how I know how, and just kick it with Joel, because I think at that time we were trying to like start fucking Metal versus Nerd and shit, right? Or was that later?
I barely remember that we did that,
dude. I mean, we literally had like 2 meetings, and then it was like over. But I did find a banner that I made for Metal versus Nerd.
That's so funny.
It's so funny. But yeah,
I actually completely forgot about that until you mentioned it right now.
Yeah, dude. It was our like Metal and IGN shit.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's so funny. But, well, fuck, dude. Okay, well, we're way off subject, and we've been talking for a while, my friend. Okay, so let's run it down. So you met the Turok guys on a message board, like they were looking for a singer.
Yeah. So
let's go from there. Let's go through the name change, how you became Destroy the Colossus, and then like what happened how did you find your way to IGN from that?
So I messaged. So I had met Brad, who was the first bass player for Turok. He worked at EB Games before it was GameStop in the mall in Pleasanton, and I was wearing an Into the Moat shirt, which like sealed the deal. Like later on, I found out that like sealed the deal because I was like one of like 4 people in the fucking Bay Area that was wearing an Into the Moat shirt. And so I walked in, was looking for games, and Brad was like, "You like Into the Moat, dude? Hell yeah, that band fucking rules!" Like, dude, yeah, they shred. He was like, "Check out my band. We're like Into the Moat." I was like, "All right, cool." And it was Turok. And it was like maybe a couple months before their singer left. And so they posted on their MySpace bulletin. Remember when everyone had the bulletin board, which is wild to me. And as soon as I saw that post, they were like, "Hey, we're looking for a singer." I hit it up. I was like, "Yo."
Did you read that post on your Sidekick?
Oh God, I wished I never had a sidekick. I always wanted one, but I never had a sidekick. But I had a friend
Brandon
who
Hunt,
was
you
like
didn't live.
obsessed with
You
them.
didn't live.
Dude, I know I didn't fucking live. I didn't. I was a poor baby kid then. And then I hit them up, and at this point I had auditioned for like 3 or 4 bands, just to try and get something right.
Yeah.
But this one was definitely like the one heavier metal thing that I was trying to do. And I think I sent them some examples of something recorded that I did, and then I went in for an audition, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, you're fucking in, bro." And because at that point I had been practicing my car, I was like getting my shit down. I had the lows down pretty well, and so I got in. And so after that, it was practicing a lot, playing the first couple shows, and you know how it goes. Then we were sort of like on our way working and striving and playing shows and figuring out the band sitch and members and shit.
And there was not a lot of other bands that sounded like you guys in the Bay at that time either. So it was like perfect timing.
Yeah, I mean,
like you guys were before like a lot of the hybrid, like metalcore, deathcore bands. Like,
I mean, yeah, we were kind of like I Shot the Sheriff was around, but they're about the same time as us. But it was a lot of like straight up hardcore stuff. So
yeah, I remember you guys used to play shows with Lionheart all the time.
Yeah, totally, dude. A lot of time. But we played with them when they were Sky Bleeds Red. That's how long ago we played with them.
I don't know. Rob's gonna get mad if he finds out we ratted them out for that name on here.
All right. I think we shared a no, that was a different band. We shared a practice spot with them when they were Sky Bleeds Red.
That's so funny.
Anyways, like fast forward like maybe like a year or two, we're just doing the standard band stuff, trying to play shows and practice and write stuff. And we were working on our album, and we finally had gotten into the progress of getting our album out. But at the same time, a buddy of mine who I had gone to school with was working for Acclaim, and he was like I think at the time he was making fonts for them, for like their games, so that they could have like their own copyrighted fonts and things, and building out all them. And he was seeing that in the company, so we never actually got served a cease and desist, but my friend was like, "Hey, dude, I'm like literally like walking around here and seeing bands and other things being hit with cease and desists, and y'all are going to come up on their list like pretty quick here. I would recommend changing your name, because it sounded like we were."
He made it sound very serious.
They were on MySpace just hitting bands, which is like a shitty thing to do. And so and that's how we found out there was another band named Turok in like Minnesota or something, which we fought with for like 15 minutes, and then we're like, "What if you're just the Turok Minnesota chapter and we're the Turok California chapter?" And we're like, "That's cool. We don't want to fight anymore, so that's chill." Plus, they had like 2 songs, and we were like, "Fuck you, we're trying." So yeah, by the time we were pretty deep into writing stuff and like preparing like our big release and all these things, and that's when we decided to change our name to Destroy the Colossus, because
which I love that name, by the way.
Thank you. We were playing Shadow of the Colossus at the time. But we didn't want to have the same thing happen to us again, so we changed the name. And then another band just called themselves Shadow of the Colossus and released an EP, and it was actually really fucking good.
Yeah, from those Sack Boys, dude. That shit was so
Yeah,
good, dude.
dude, that shit was so tight.
That's one of those bands where you're like, why didn't you do anything?
Dude, I know. Like,
Do you know what they're doing now?
No. What are they doing?
Dude,
Do you know?
okay, so remember some of those guys were also in Fate. You remember that metalcore band?
That's right. That's right. Yes, yes.
So
yes.
so the drummer, I think is it Jake and Devin? They're twins. Fucking Devin lives in Nashville and is a fucking I think might be platinum country singer now.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, and like the brother that was the drummer for Destroy the Colossus, Shadow of the Colossus, plays drums live with him.
Wow! Damn,
dude. I'll send you Devin's Instagram later, and you'll be like, "This is him."
Devin was the singer of Shadow of the Colossus.
I think so, right? Or the guitar player.
Oh shit! Wow. I mean, if you're gonna fucking go make money doing music, Nashville's where it's at. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Anyways,
Devin Dawson. That's what it was. That's his name.
God, I just like one of my pet peeves, especially with this music scene, is that there's so much good music that just never hits a distribution. And like I wish that, you know, on my Apple Music that I can only get like Apple Music fucking certified fucking songs. Like it's so hard to just add some of your tracks that you have like curated over the fucking last like 20 years. And you need like a different app to fucking play your shit. I'm like, I want to play it in my fucking Apple Music app shit, so I can add it to my fucking playlist. Anyway, tangent. So we changed our name. We released the album. We had a fucking killer album release party where we literally like replayed 3 of our top songs over again because it was incredible. That's like that show and that Despise Icon show and our Slipknot Halloween show were
I remember that
top three shows that we ever played. And then you know, soon it was 2008 and we were trying to just do our thing and keep going, but we were also dealing with band member changes. So we had a new drummer and a new bass player that we sort of borrowed from a band called Fighting the Villain that we played a show with, and they were more pop rock punky, and they were like, holy shit, you guys fucking rip. And so the drummer was like, I want to play with y'all. So we figured that out. That was a bit. We had Adam from the drummer. He played for All Shall Perish for a little bit. Adam Pierce. But he got the offer from All Shall Perish, so he was like, I'm going to take that. And we were like, yeah, that's probably the better move here. So after he went to All Shall Perish, then we got our other drummer. And and then we were struggling with our sound a bit. From what I remember, we were getting a little burnt out on tech. We wanted to do some like heavier, more simpler stuff, aka just like more deathcore stuff to play, because you know just the constant criticism that we got. I remember was like, you know, really I was the only person that could like actually like move and dance on stage, and you know our string players were like, fuck.
Yeah, they were just I call it noodling. They were just noodling the whole time.
Right. Like occasionally like Tyler could fucking rip it, and Kenneth could rip it. There were moments, but like they all of them never had like a full opportunity to just like fucking go crazy, which is what we wanted to do. So we were writing, like Tyler was writing music. Writing music was difficult because, you know, I think Tyler wanted to write a lot of the stuff. I think Kenneth wanted to write a lot of stuff. But like, you know, it's that thing where like I'm a singer, I can mouth sounds, but I can't fucking write or notate any music for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't help here. I wish I could. And I think like for those guys, it was just like a lot of pressure, and like it's that artistic thing where you want to write good shit, but it's so hard. You know, it's like trying to like, you know, draw a fucking drawing or a painting, and you're like, I'm envisioning this, but when you start drawing, you're like, my hands look like shit, so I'm gonna stop. It's like, you know, I totally get the frustration and the, you know, the thought process. So I mean, I think we were burnt out. And then you know, fast forward, we played a couple more shows, and then the stock market crash hit pretty hard. And I
remember that when the whole economy just took a big old.
Yeah, the whole economy just went. Kids stopped going to shows because their parents were probably like, "I'm not going to give you any more money to go to shows right now." And I remember playing a few more, but then I remember our last show was in a San Jose like community center. I forget what it was called, but it was literally to like 4 people, and that was it. Then we stopped playing. We hadn't had a show in like a couple months, and then we just sort of decided like, are we done? Like we're fighting and we're not having fun anymore, and this is like really tough. No one's going to shows, and no one's interested in us anymore. I think we're just need to take a break. And we decided to take a break, and then the break just turned into we're done, because you know that's how it goes. And that was like 2008, 2009, I think, something like that.
So how did you go from doing music to being an IGN?
So
because I actually don't know this story. That's so like. Even if you've told it to me, I don't remember it because I'm a fucking asshole. You know, so I
probably haven't told you a lot. It's kind of not like a whole lot. Like really, I was, you know, trying to just fucking find video work because my video is my thing, still is, right. I worked at Borders for like 2 years before I found the band. Or when I found the band right away, and it just killed my fucking soul. I just couldn't do retail anymore. Plus, I was making like fucking $200 every 2 weeks or some shit like that.
That was back in the day before when California still got away with shitty labor laws.
Oh my god, yeah, I was making like bullshit money.
Thank you. After like 2010, they got their shit together.
Oh yeah, exactly. And so I just was picking up like odd video jobs, corporate jobs, some studio work. Like I worked for Restoration Hardware for a couple months, just like in their commercial shoot kind of portion, where I'd go to like a warehouse with all their furniture, hell early in the morning, pick it, like work with a crew, just like load it into a truck for the morning, go to like a fucking crazy mansion, and like unload it to shoot it, and then when they're done shooting, load it back into the fucking truck, and then load it back in the warehouse after like every fucking day. It was a lot. It was good money, but it was fucking
a lot of work.
I was tired. It was like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It was crazy. So I did that, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to work like a fucking labor job. And so I worked odd video jobs for a long time until maybe like 2012 or 13. I had a slew of my friends' weddings. And so I got my shit together. I worked a bunch of weddings to buy my own camera gear, to which I could work a couple more weddings and just like keep accruing money to like buy gear and get my portfolio going. And at the same time, I was like a bunch of shorts for myself too. So I had a lot of stuff that I had worked on, and had self-taught After Effects and shit like that, editing and all sorts of things. And just worked on my own projects too. Like most of the time I was working on my own projects, then trying to find jobs to get money. And so about 2013, I was like, all right, I fucking need to get like a 9 to 5 here. Um, but I want it to be something that I'm gonna enjoy, and so I had picked out IGN because I kept seeing video editor gigs on the job board, and I applied for so fucking long. I applied for like an entire year straight, um, and didn't hear a lot of things. Didn't hear back, and and finally wised up a little bit and found a tool that would like connect the keywords from the job posting and put them in my resume, and made sure that it matched up to the job posting for video editor, and I had my reel ready to go, and finally submitted 2014, and like a day later, I got a call back from my boss saying like, "Hey, dude, really love your stuff. I think you're great." It was like the easiest interview. He's like, "You just come in for an interview." My boss Darren, who's not there anymore. But I went in for the interview, and like it was one of those interviews that I could tell they were all ready to pick me. They just wanted to make sure I wasn't just a total asshole.
Yeah, or like a fucking weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm not. So there you go. And that's how I got a job at IGN. Was constantly submitting their the resumes to them. I went to a couple of their first Fridays, which were like, if you want a job there and you want to check out the office. That type of thing. It was like a recruiting type of event. And then later, come to find out, all those entire times I was submitting, they were bought out. They were previously Fox, owned by Fox, and then another company called Ziff Davis bought them. So they went through a big layoff. And so they did a big layoff, and then they were kind of sitting for a little bit on a hiring freeze and all that stuff. And then finally, when they were like ready to go, I got in like right away. So that's how I did it. That's literally how I did it. I didn't I went to school. I went to school, but honestly, school, the only thing that helped me was that I had a degree, like something on paper. Mostly self-taught, mostly self-learned, mostly just embedding myself in the types of content that IGN is about, and just got obsessed with gaming and shit in 2011 2012, and decided to work in that industry. So that's how I got in, sir. Yeah, and then since then I've just been moving up and working my way towards the social gig. But I was edited video for 3 months there before I took on a show called The Daily Fix, where I edited that for a long time, a couple months before I got proficient enough in that I could help out with the shoot of that thing, and I learned was able to learn all the tricks of the trade that the producer of that was able to say hey, I want to get out of this role. Do you want to take this role on? I was like, yes, please, because I'm trying to move up and get my shit in the door. And he's like, hell yeah. My very good buddy Mike Aransky, who, if you're listening to this, I miss you, sir. He's now at 100 Thieves. So
oh wow,
he's doing good over there. And so I produced The Daily Fix with Naomi Kyle for about a year and some change before I got burnt out on that, because I was doing that every single day. And I was also shit posting online on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and doing my own photoshops where I put my face and shit. And my boss that was going to take over the social, he was actually building the social team there, saw all my shit posting on there. I was like, hey dude, you want to come over here? And I was like, yes, please save me. And so I've been on the social team ever since. Actually, the longest running member of the social team right there at
That's
IGN.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
And
tight.
so yeah, dude.
That's tight. Dude,
Fucking
by the
jerk.
way, everybody watching this, I know you're all wondering. Brandon has taken me to the office and shown me, and it's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's been updated since the last time you took me, so I need to come see it soon. When COVID's over, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. We'll see what's happening post COVID with all of that, because there's some changes happening for sure. So.
Yeah. Are you guys still in that same space, or did you have to downside because of COVID, or are you not allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't know what's like solid yet, but it's definitely that thing of like downsizing, because like a bunch of people like moved, because they're like, well, if I'm not going to be there for fucking a year, like I'm going to move in with my girlfriend or boyfriend somewhere else in LA or something. So
yeah, exactly.
So they're doing that thing that a lot of companies are doing, where it's like hotel seating, where they're like cleaning out the space, and you like book like a time that you want to come in and use a desk, right? There would be some people that want to use it like 5 days a week, which I'm like, you're crazy, because why? But for like meetings, important meetings and productions and shit, like you come in for that, and then you just work from home. Like we're shifting to like a work from home situation.
Well, shit.
That's crazy. And it's mostly like, it's because of COVID, but people are just like, dude, this fucking rules. I don't have to commute. Like I don't have to commute, because my commute was like an hour and a half, like every day, just one way. So commuting for like 3 hours a day. And so I'm stoked, because I can wake up at like 8:45 and then log on at 9 and be good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of the state, but that's like the state of like everywhere right now. At least in the tech world.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it shakes out.
For
the rest of the company.
Shit. Okay. That's enough about IGN. I'm tired of hearing about that shit. Just kidding. If anybody watches you, IGN, I love you. Hire me. I have a great voice. If young Santa Claus mated with George Clooney, I'd be the result. So please hire me.
Baby.
Okay, Brandon, I have a segment, like a little way I end the show. I have to tweak some of these questions for you, because you're not in a band, and everybody I talk to is always in a band.
All right.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is sandwiches, hands down.
Okay. Sandwiches. What's your favorite food that you can't get in the Bay Area?
Technically, I don't know if it still counts as the Bay, but there is not a single fucking Arby's around me for like 25 miles circumference. It is the most bullshit thing. I've been craving Arby's for like years.
I hate Arby's.
Oh, dude, fuck off. Arby's is so good. Arby's is so good. So good, dude.
Hey, I asked the question, so I have to sit with the answer,
Here, I'll give you a real one, but there is a food there. Oh my God, the most amazing shit. There's have you ever had or heard of raclette before?
No.
Raclette, I don't know if it's the official term, but it's essentially, and I had this in New York, and so I've yet to go back to New York and try this. The place was called raclette, but it's also like the instance of it is also called raclette, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You take your potatoes, your veggies, your roasted potatoes, your roasted veggies, or like some meats, right? And what you do is you get a half wheel of cheese, and you take a little blowtorch, you cut that half wheel, right? And what they do is they blowtorch the end of this wheel of cheese, and then they scrape off a fucking nice, thick slob of melted cheese all over your potatoes, your meats, your veggies. And
Jesus. I've seen videos of that. I did not know what it was called, and that's fucked up. I want that.
So fucked up that I cannot have it like next
That's
door to my
insane.
house.
That's insane.
Raclette for RACLETTE raclette.
Jesus, that sounds incredible.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Fuck, dude. I'm all derailed now, and we're like way over on time, longer than I thought we'd be. Okay, so usually this is the part of the show where I would ask somebody some advice I would give them about being in a band or being in the music industry. I guess technically I could ask you that, but more so like you're in the tech industry. If anybody is watching this show and they want to get a foot in the door in the tech industry, or I guess technically we could broaden it and say the entertainment industry. Right. You know, what's your number one piece of advice you would give to somebody for that?
Okay, I can tell you like the question we got, or like the comment a lot of people at IGN get, or the comments we see on IGN shit that is fucking annoying. And first piece of advice: don't do this. But you don't. If you want to get a job at IGN, no one like the top skill that you need to have is not playing video games. Hate to break it to you, but we're not a fucking esport fucking team. We don't just play video games all day. There are people who play video games all day because they're reviewing a game, right? So like they have to play the game, much like if you're reviewing a book, you got to fucking read the book. So if you're like, hey, I want to review books, the way that you go tell a publication that you want to review books is not, hey, I read books, so you should let me review books. That's not how you fucking do it, okay? God, this shit pisses everyone off at the office. So we get a lot of that.
That's like now the golden rule kind of in the music industry, at least in my circle with everybody I work with, is don't send me a Facebook message. Like fucking email me.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Professional shit.
Because like when I show people my Facebook Messenger, I'm like, you don't want to deal with this. Like, don't add to my fucking problem.
Oh yeah, dude. Because like Facebook is a personal fucking website.
Yeah.
You have an email for a reason.
Also, fuck Mike Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark, whatever. Mike, whatever. Fuck you.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, my number one advice is to. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. So first of all, you want to pick what you want to do in the industry. There's so many fucking things that you can do in the industry, right? There's so many facets, much like a movie business too, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta look at the content and be like, hey, I want to host, or I want to shoot that video, or I want to edit that video, which is what I did, or I want to review that game, or I want to write that article, right? Like that's mostly what we're about. And so you need to develop those skills to do those things that the people are doing at IGN. And it's not playing video games. Everyone can play a video game. And like, we don't just pay you to play video games. Like, why?
Yeah.
So you can play video games? Fuck off. No, like the reason why we play a video game is to make our content, which is capturing video, right? Or reviewing a game. Let me tell you, it's not fucking fun. Reviewers
it's still
are
a job.
Like it's still like, dude, I like the guy that had to review Final Fantasy 15, a game that's like 80 hours long, literally had to like play that game sun up to sundown for like 5 days straight and use his weekend. And like, yes, video games are fun, but like straight, like who the fuck, unless you're like really into it, like you absolutely adore this game. Like I wouldn't even play Last of Us Part 2 for 4 hours straight, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just insane. Like you won't watch a fucking like a movie that you're partially interested in for like 16 hours straight. Like that's just, you're not going to do that. but he had to do that so he could write his review on time for the review embargo. There's shit like that, right?
Jesus, yeah.
So like, it's things like if you want to review, you got to learn how to review, or you got to review your writing skills, right? If you want to edit, you got to learn how to fucking edit and get your edit skills up because it's top tier production, right? Same thing with shooting video. Like you got to learn how to light shit. You got to learn like your production skills. Same thing with hosting. You got to fucking practice your hosting. You gotta get a bunch of hosting shit under your belt. And like work on your hosting craft, and that means not working at IGN right away. That means you gotta like do jobs that require hosting and shit. Get your reel going. You gotta like put in the work. Like that's what I mean. That's almost
so you mean me telling them to hire me on my own show won't get me a job there?
Yeah. You gotta do your show. You gotta do a show about video games, which you can do by yourself. You gotta practice reading a teleprompter. You gotta practice miking yourself up. You gotta practice live hosting gigs because that's some shit you gotta do.
I mean, I think I have that down pretty well.
Pretty well. You got some work to do. I believe in you, though. There is a host.
Bro, you know, I'm an ordained minister, right?
Oh yeah. And
I've been doing it. So like, I know how to host.
Are you selling me right now? Are you selling?
I know how to host plenty of things, Mr. Hunt. Okay.
All right. 2 video games are getting married. What's the service? Let's go. Right. Sonic the Hedgehog and Devil May Cry are getting married. What's your intro, bro? Go.
Well, first off, like, do you mean the games or the characters?
Already failed, bro.
No, you have to know the specs of what the people want. You know what I mean? See the difference between hosting IGN and hosting a wedding is something important. At IGN, the most important person involved in the scenario is the person viewing the content, the person watching the host. At a wedding, the only thing that matters is keeping the bride happy. Everybody else can go fuck right off. It doesn't even have to be the bride. It could also be
the bride's mom,
or it could be the husband. I'll marry gay people. I don't care.
Yeah. Right,
you know what I mean? I'm down. Everybody, as long as you ain't trying to marry an animal or nothing weird, But like, I don't care, dude. Everybody deserves to get married. So, but there's always one person that's more sensitive about the wedding.
Yeah, totally. So you
not that being sensitive is a feminine trait. I'm not trying to.
No, but there's someone that's like more invested.
Yeah, like there's always someone specifically in the wedding that you have to. It's like they will murder you if you fuck up.
Right. Like,
and as an IGN host, all the nerds on Twitter are going to talk shit about you anyways. So.
Yep. So like, what do you got to lose?
Yeah, I feel like I just passed my interview. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're going to show this to your boss and be like, "Hey, listen, this is an hour and 45 minutes, but just skip to the end and hire this guy, dude." Like,
just fucking do it. That's all I gotta say. You're in, bro. You're in, baby. That's it. You did it. You did good, kid.
Thanks, Dad. Okay,
what are your other? You gave me 3 questions. You have 5. How many questions you got left?
Well, so no, this is my closing question, and then we're done.
Okay,
I promise. Okay, I promise because I need to go. You got me so hungry. I got to go to the store and get a bowl. I got to go get cereal or something because there's no fast food in the town I live in. So after a certain hour, it's like just go to Safeway.
Just figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Kind of weird to ask you this because I feel like it's not that it's unapplicable, but so usually the question I ask last is because I'm usually interviewing people in bands. I do this show because me as a promoter and as an artist manager, people see the business side of Joel a lot, or they're partying with me and they see like the rage cage side of Joel a lot, which you've been lucky to see both those sides.
I miss him so much.
I know. But there is an in between, and I'm still a person. You know what I mean? So like, as a business professional on the internet, in your case, you have like a veil. You have like, I don't want to call it a facade. You understand what I mean, but that's almost implying like you're lying and it's insulting. But like, what's something about you, like whether it's a hobby, a character trait, or a personality trait what's something that you have or that you like to do, or something about yourself that you wish people who just know you as acquaintances or as an internet personality, or even the people that don't know you well in the office per se, in this situation, what is something about you that you wish more people knew?
I wish it's, like, this has been like, I've been actually thinking about this a lot because I've been trying to like be more active on Twitter and like build myself up, as a person.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there's still like a veil, right? But like, I want to preface by saying, like, I want to try and like, on at least on Twitter, which is something that I've just been like really, really passionate and like personal on, and trying to like let people see like my interests more. Because on Twitter I'm known as like the IGN shit poster guy and the Ninja Turtles guy, right?
Yeah, sorry, I tagged you in the Ninja Turtle shirt the other week.
Oh, dude, it's all good. No, like that's.
Did you buy that one?
The
one from the Results Company. It's RSVLTS. I bought two shirts from them. I bought like the Rock shirt and a Ric Flair shirt, like a button up.
Yeah,
the quality is worth it for that company.
Oh, I have like 5 Results shirts that are really good.
Mind.
My Critters one is like my favorite.
I'll go back and delete that sales pitch right now, because we all know those fucking assholes aren't gonna like give me any free stuff. So,
I saw those shirts and like, what I'm loving about, and this is exactly like what I'm trying to get to, is like what I'm loving absolutely is that you and like people that are aware of me online are tagging me in those things and in that Ninja Turtles shirt, And to be honest, I think all of those shirts are pretty tacky. I just don't like the splotchy design. I have preferences. I don't want to say
you have taste.
I have taste, but because someone else might really dig those. I know how those are going to look on me, and it's not good.
Fair.
So that's sort of the genesis of that. But what I love is that random people are like, "Bro, did you see these yet?" And they're like, and they don't know a whole lot about me other than I'm IGN and I fucking love Ninja Turtles because I talk about them all the time. That is something that I'm like really, 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 really fucking appreciative of. Because honestly, like, dream job would be like Nickelodeon / TMNT would be like, bro, you want to just fucking host like all Ninja Turtle shit? To which I'll be like, fuck, gotta like watch all the shows and like read all the comics that I never did. Fuck. But like something that I'm trying to like work on is like allowing more of myself, which is like, I fucking love movies, right? Like, and I'm a filmmaker and I want to like utilize my output of myself on Twitter and social media to like do the things that I really want to do in life, which is make movies, right? And like be around like the content that I'm really about, which is Ninja Turtles and like G.I. Joe and fucking heavy metal, death metal music and Star Wars and shit like that, like be like be known as someone that like celebrates all those things and like expand my sort of like presence past Ninja Turtles, past metal, past IGN, and like so in the terms of like social boy at IGN, right? But yeah, I wish a little bit, it really boils down to like when I have art that I'm trying to make, like short films and shit, like I want to get to a point where people will be like, oh shit, this is the Ninja Turtles guy's new thing, right? Like,
sick. Okay,
whatever it is. Which little self promo, I am starting I don't know how it's going to go, but I am going to start a new channel, I think. That's going to be, the first piece is absolutely Ninja Turtles based. But it's going to be sort of in the same vein as like Nerd Writer. Have you seen Nerd Writer?
No.
Like video essay stuff. about pretty much I'm gonna do it about like my favorite films and like think pieces.
Oh, tight, yeah. I back that.
And so Ninja Turtles is like the first thing.
I'll watch that. Let me know when it's ready.
Hell yeah. I actually sort of like did a test run of a part of the piece that I wrote for a podcast that released today that I got the two hosts like pretty emotional. So I'm like, oh fuck, maybe this will be good. So that was the fire that lit under my ass to finish my project. So,
I respect that.
Yeah, that's this type of shit I'm trying to like open up to like the people that know me, because a lot of people only know me for certain aspects, and I'm like, I'm a full colored individual,
Fair. Okay.
Very, very long-winded answer. Very long-winded answer.
I love it. I love it.
Like, check my shit out, basically.
Well, that's fine. I'll take it. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. This has been another episode of JoelCupcake Unedited, live with Brandon Hunt from IGN. Before we leave, Brandon, this is how we're going to end the show. Are you ready? Wait, actually, no, hold on. We're not ending the show yet. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you stay up to date with those updates on the podcast platforms. I have a YouTube page. Obviously, I want you to sub to that because I just mentioned it because I'm an idiot. On Facebook, there's a likable page as well for the channel. Please check that out. I'm going to be using that more to promote. I obviously follow me on social media at JoelCupcake. Thanks for checking out the show. Brandon's handle's right there, Media Vandal. Hit him up. Find him. You follow him. He's a good ass dude. Love that guy. Obviously, he's still right there and you can see me. Brandon, this is how we're ending the show. This has been another episode of JoelCupcake Unedited. No explanation. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? I'll go first, and then you, and then I'm ending it. Ready?
Yep. Raphael.
Donatello.
Oh.